So Bitcoin is sitting at 97,621, and it did go up towards 98,384. It is on its journey towards $100,000, and I think I have mentioned this already in yesterday's Bitcoin video that as long as $90,000 continues to hold, we are expecting this to go towards 100K first instead of correcting, and that is how Bitcoin is reacting. Of course, when we looked at the overall breaking of structure, I mentioned that it is forming a bullish pennant, and the bullish pennant 70% of the times it breaks out, 30% of the times it breaks down. So it delivered on the 70% of the probability because it is a higher probability, but the 30% of the times case scenario happens too. But I mean, we are sitting in the market of probabilities. My expectations from Bitcoin are that as long as it holds $90,000, I expect it to rally towards $95,000. No one has any magic lamps or genies that would come out and they would tell you that, okay, this is exactly how it is going to happen. What you do is that you pick the probabilities, you use the data, then you apply it, and statistically you come up with the future that, okay, based on these probabilities applied to this data, that is what I expect. So when you apply 70% of the probability to a case scenario, then of course you're leaning towards that probability while using your stop losses. And that was the case scenario of Bitcoin. Bitcoin is not bearish, so I mean, it has never been bearish up till now, and it is staying extremely bullish. Shockingly, it hasn't done any retracement yet, which is a bit of a concern for me because we need retracement. It's just that when will it retrace? That is a question. I use mini resistances with it. I don't use any strong resistances. My major concern with Bitcoin is still the support areas. It's not the resistance areas, just because of the fact that there is no clarity on the upward direction. And I started using resistances at above $90,000, or it was above $90,000. I started introducing resistance, mini resistances, because before that the case scenario was super bullish. There was no point of talking about a resistance, but over here it makes sense as well. And even if you look at the chart and the overall journey, just before the rally you can see there is a lot of action here, and it is in quite bigger size in comparison to the candle size that you look at here. These candle sizes are bigger, which means that in this area the volatility is quite big in comparison to its past journey. If you look at it, the candle sizes they're not that big. They're small candles that are forming throughout, but the moment you go here, the candle size, they are becoming bigger. Why? Because that is an area where there can be some resistance, and that can be a bit of a problem. So that's why it made sense to have a resistance there. Now I can offer you actually mini support. Instead of waiting all the way down towards $90,000, we will use our previous mini resistance as the support. If I recall it correctly, I think I offered a mini resistance at $95,000. We'll be using that as a support. If Bitcoin continues to hold above $95,000 and it doesn't drop, we would expect Bitcoin to continue with this rally towards $100,000, go and touch that, which is not far, but I'm just talking about the direction. If you are trading for scalps or day trading, that would make sense. Otherwise, if you are going in for a long term, I would rather wait for the correction whenever it is. Even if it is in months, I would wait it out instead of jumping on worse prices. Those who bought in March, they paid the price later on anyway, but in a bullish rally, everyone keeps on forgetting what has just happened, and they act like if it is happening to them for the first time, which is why it's called FOMO. The synonym for FOMO would be stupidity. So anyway, But if you're looking for a support, a mini support, $95,000 is your mini support. Bitcoin shouldn't break that if it wants to rally towards 100K. In a most bullish case scenario, which means just go there directly. But if it is losing $95,000, then we are back to our $90,000 support area. It really needs to hold. The moment this time Bitcoin loses 90K, for me it will be the first signal that we have started our journey towards 85 and 80. Of course, that will be in pieces, and now the $15,000 journey pretty much ends on 85K, because if it is going to 100K, so $15,000 drop that I was looking for, it will be dropping on 85K instead of stretching it to 80K. And as yesterday I mentioned that the 74K is diminishing. Now it is becoming more and more likely that 74K is diminishing, that we are not going to go and test the all-time high of this year, which was in January, which was close to $74,000. I don't think Bitcoin is in a mood of testing that anytime soon. Of course, once we are done with the rally, then we can go and test any areas. And if we talk about markets crashing, then you can go and test anything. But that's a financial crisis situation. Let's not get into that. In the short term, if I have to just give you in a more simple manner, if it holds 95, you're going to 100. If it loses 95, then you are relying on $90,000, and it will be important to sit and watch what happens at 90, because losing 90K would indicate that now we have started our downward journey and we are on our way towards the correction. So be on the lookout. Today is what, Thursday? Yeah, we don't have much volume on weekends, so weekend is just around the corner, so be careful. And if you're waiting for 100K, just pray that $95,000 holds, then it can hit 100K, otherwise it will come down. Thank you for watching the video. If you have any questions, or I have touched on a topic and you expect me to explain a bit more, I'll try my best to explain that to you in the comments. Leave a comment. And I'm not going to tell you to like and subscribe, because if you're not interacting with the video, or if you're not subscribed, you're not going to see all the 10 videos that I make every day. You're going to miss out on it, and I think you are educated enough to understand what to subscribe and what not to, because if you want to miss out on it, then why not? It's for your own good, and you should know better what is good for you.